What's up, my people? Something is going to reveal itself. Big tech arrives in rural Spain. Like, it's not a joke. This is what I say is good, or would I say it's partially good? Anyways, meanwhile in rural Spain, like another conflict is going to unfold just very soon, very soon. But what do you think this conflict is going to be about? This time over technology and land. So this dispute that might come up anytime should be about the land or technology. But something here is serious. Major tech companies are increasingly moving data centers, renewable energies, and infrastructure, even digital projects into smaller Spanish communities. Officials argue this investment creates jobs. Guys, the government calls it modernization and economic progress. Of course, if something like this is being moved to rural areas around Spain, some communities, is going to create that job opportunity for people, improve infrastructures. Of course, it's going to help position Spain as a major European tech hub. That is improvements. Of course, it's going to actually make those areas and Spain entirely be visible in the eyes of people when it comes to technology. But many locals tell different story about all this. So what is it? Residents complain that massive tech expansion is currently driving up land prices, because when these tech companies come, they might actually, anyways, let me just tell you, consuming water, electricity sources, and even transforming quiet agricultural communities into industrial digital zones. Now let me go back to that explanation I wanted to give. Imagine you have a land and those lands you use it for agricultural purposes, and then all of a sudden there is a company that has tech, they do tech businesses, and they want to come and invest in those areas, and they feel like they want to buy or they want to purchase the land, or they want to use the land based on leasing or anything. Do you know that their presence around those areas are going to make lands over those areas very expensive? So for some villages, the issue is simple. They feel they are actually sacrificing their way of life so global corporations can expand. They're actually seeing it that these things are coming and we are giving out our social life to this, and this is global corporation. It can also expand their cloud computing empires. So as this story is even bigger than Spain, across the world, it's not just about tech. The governments are even competing aggressively to attract big tech. So most times it's not just about tech, it's not just about develop, it's also about the investment, the attraction, the competition seen in all this, often promising tax incentives, land assets and infrastructure support. But critics also have their own to say. They also argue people frequently absorb the hidden costs. Of course, this raises an uncomfortable question in the minds of both people. Now, who truly benefit from the digital economy? That is the main question here. Who is benefiting from this digital economy? Because meanwhile, technology companies speaks about, innovation. They speak about many communities fear displacements. They speak about innovations. For many communities fear environmental strain and loss of local identity, because when they come to dominate, so many people might lose their local identities. Some of them might actually be displaced from their homes or from their workplace or anywhere around. So the future may be digital, but somebody still pays the physical price. That these lands that are going to be used to build things, to actually develop, is people's lands, people's possessions, and they might be displaced from those things. Then those are the things which people are even worried about. So for more information, I'm going to keep you updated. Just stay tuned, subscribe to my channel, and don't go anywhere.